Hello and welcome to another episode of Badman Reviews. I know it's been quite some time, but I've been on vacation and I've had a few other things going on. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll already know about what's been going on, but gonna skip over that. Let's just get straight into the video game stuff because that's what most of you are here for. So, Yooka Laylee came out a little while ago, and I've been busy, so I haven't been able to talk about it, but I was able to play it to completion. I got the PlayStation, I got the Yooka Laylee Toy Box Plus Edition. Truthfully, I don't know what the difference between Plus and regular were. I don't know if the Plus people are going to get more later on, or how that's going to work. But from what I can tell and what I've played, it's kind of exactly what it sounds like. It was a toy box where you get to roll around, test out the game, basically the base mechanics of the game. You get a square layout with a bunch of square blocks and some nice textured blocks scattered here and there to look, you know, like, hey look, here's some textured stuff. This is what this stuff might look like when the game comes out. It looks nice, looks pretty. I enjoyed the aesthetic of everything and how it looked. They showed off some characters, mainly your guide through the whole thing, this little robotic AI guy who talks about destroying humankind. There's one thing, I forget what it was, but the line was really funny. It was like something about destroying humankind randomly, just randomly popped up, and I was like, that's funny, and I wanted to read it again, so I clicked on it, and it popped up, and it was just like, silly human, we don't have the money for replaying dialogue in this toy box. And I thought that was funny that they had like kind of gone off the fact that I went to read something again and it was just like, nope, you can't do that in toy box. So I thought that was funny. But the main thing in toy box is there's a bunch of, just like a collectathon, there's a bunch of shinies scattered about with these little feather things you have to pick up. And once you've collected them all, there's 100 of them scattered throughout, you'll get a pagey. And once you get this pagey, the guy will open up a secret area for you, a couple different secrets that you can find, little developer areas that you can get to. The big one though is that there's a secret button, and if you find it, for those of you who want to know, there's this little secret area in the middle. It's basically a tall tower with a moat of water around it, and if you swim down on the back side of it and swim up, there's a little crevice and there's a hole in the ceiling of it, and if you swim up you'll find the button. Then if you swim around the other side, the door opens and there's a guy in there, and you talk to him and he tells you a secret for the actual game, which is cool. I thought that was a really interesting idea to implement. Basically it states that on a certain level, you'll see a pirate ship, find a rock near a palm tree, something like that, and do a ground pound on said rock, and you'll unlock the secret. Who knows what that secret will be, but I thought it was an awesome idea to actually implement something like that into the toy box, where if you get to play the toy box and you know a secret about the game when it actually comes out. It was a good reward for collecting everything in the toy box. I was like, oh, you'll beat the toy box, you'll collect everything, there'll be a secret, it'll just be some little stupid Easter egg, and that's it. But it was actually something really, really cool. But obviously, the main point of the toy box is to get the gameplay out there. And it's a platformer. It feels a lot like your old school Donkey Kong 64, Banjo-Kazooie style gameplay, where you run around, you jump, you collect stuff, and it's great. There are a few issues I have though, like the camera. I'm not 100% happy with the camera yet, and this is a big issue for me. I've seen a lot of people posting about how they love it, how the gameplay feels great, everything's perfect. I didn't feel that. I felt like there was specific points in time where I wanted the camera to do something and it just wouldn't. It would swivel in the wrong direction, especially with the rolling mechanic in the game, having Yooka Laylee rolling around. There'll be a point where like I'd hold forward, but because how the game works, since my character is facing this way and I want to go this way, if I put my analog stick in this direction to go this way, instead of kind of going like this, instead of going straight like this and kind of just instantly shifting direction, it takes time and you actually rotate like this. You do like a weird U-turn to get into that position, which throws you off because you don't expect it, and it's awkward. So basically there's a lot of times where I have to make a sharp turn because you're going up this spiral staircase ramp thing, and you got to make a sharp turn really quickly, but you just can't. So when you go to make the sharp turn, you go like this and you fall off the edge, and it just didn't work. Also, something that my friend mentioned that I thought was a great point is the game doesn't have ghost jumping, especially out of these rolling animations. For those of you who don't know what ghost jumping is, it's basically in almost every platformer nowadays, where when you roll off a ledge, if you haven't jumped yet, you roll off the ledge, you're able to jump. So let's say here's the ledge you're on, you're going, and then you fall off the ledge. It gives you can jump while you're in midair falling to either save yourself or to get a little bit farther distance. I would love for that to be implemented in the game. It's a nice way to help save yourself from some of these weird platforming mechanics. It's in a lot of platforming games now. Rayman had it, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze has it. It's kind of a big thing in platformers now, and the fact that Yooka Laylee doesn't have it is a little weird to me, and it feels off. I know if they were to implement this, they might have to change like whole level designs and ideas from the game on how this works. But I think it's kind of a big thing to have. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the ghost jumping thing. I think it's important to have. It's a good idea. It's something that my friend brought up that I didn't even think about, and now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of big in my eyes. It especially with the rolling mechanic. There's a lot about the rolling mechanic in Yooka Laylee that just doesn't fit well to me. And since it's such a big thing, like this is your main way of traveling around the world, your fastest way of traveling around the world. And if the camera doesn't feel right while you're doing it, and the controls don't feel right while you're doing it, it might be a big issue when it comes to the full game, because this is basically like your Kazooie walk around thing with Banjo-Kazooie, where you're on her feet and you're speed walking around with her. This is that for this game, and that was pretty big in that game. You use that to get everywhere. It's your fastest mode of transportation. It's what you want to use through the whole game. So if this rolling thing just doesn't work, it could be a killer for the game. It could slow down gameplay a lot and really kind of throw some people off. Though that's just my opinion. A lot of people are saying that they think the controls are perfect, everything's fine. I'm loving it. I'm loving the direction it's going in, the art style, the comedic way that the Playtonic guys are working on it. It's got their it's got that rare feel to it, but it's still missing some when it comes to controls, mechanics, and gameplay that I think needs to possibly be implemented in the future to make it that much better. Also, I would like to state that the music is fantastic, but we already knew that this was going to be a thing. I'm interested and excited for Hat in Time. Hopefully that comes out soon. We got a lot of platformer love to talk about with Crash Bandicoot, Hat in Time, and Yooka Laylee all coming out soon. Hopefully in the next year, we'll be seeing all three of those platformers. So next year is a big year for platformers. I can't wait. And until then, I'll see you all in the next video.